Hey everyone, welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. We are on scenario 6.5. Yes, the penultimate scenario for this entire campaign, with the character Alahazra at the location Hall of Winged Chaos, where at this location all monsters have and are immune to the electricity trait. All damage dealt to you is electricity damage. And okay, so we can close this location automatically. Very interesting. Okay, we're with the character Alahazra. What's really cool is we've been slowly whittling away all the basic and elite cards since we're at these high levels. So these last adventures should be pretty challenging. So we are advancing the Blessings deck, and the first card we get is the Killing Box. Okay, a great way to start off. So it's a Barrier 5, Obstacle Trap, Magic Arcane Acid. So we have to do a Intelligence, Knowledge Perception 13, or a Disable 15. Okay, so let's see. Our Intelligence is D8 for Alahazra. She has a Blessing of Ra in her hand. She has Naga 3 fingers. This is an Obstacle Trap, Magic Arcane. No trigger trait, otherwise she's able to do something about that. So what we will do is we will go ahead and we will use a Blessing of Ra. So we can add one die to the check. Okay, so then basically Alahazra just has an intelligence of D8. So she has to roll 2D8. We also have the Heat Metal spell. Let's look at that really quick. It says here, discard this card to add 2 dice to any check by a character at your location to defeat a barrier that has a lock or trap trait. So awesome. Wow, this Heat Metal spell really turning out very useful. Obviously we're going to use that. We're going to roll then 2d8 plus the Blessing of Ra gives us a total of 4d8, and we need a total of 13. This is straight up an intelligence check, which is d8. Okay, so we get 6, and 6 is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Awesome. So we defeated this barrier. The Heat Metal spell is Divine 9 recheck. Let's go ahead and see if we do that. And we do. Our Divine is D10 plus 7. So that card gets recharged. And the Killing Box has been defeated. Man, that a lot of great spells. We have Find Traps coming up. We just used the Heat Metal spell. Pretty impressive. Advancing the Blessings deck. And we get a Magic Carpet. Oh, this would be pretty cool theme-wise for Alahazra. It's Intelligence, Craft, Charisma, Survival. We'll just do a Survival check. Survival is Wisdom plus 2, and our Wisdom is plus 3, so D8 plus 5. And we did not get the Flying Carpet. Oh well. It gets banished, that boon. The hand is looking good. Advancing the Blessings deck. We get a Plague Zombie. Okay. Interesting to still see elite cards this far into the campaign. It's just a straight up Combat 11 check. We'll go ahead and use our Sirocco spell, which is a D10 plus 3D8. So automatically we get a total of, 4 points, and our Divine is plus 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is actually an auto defeat. So it's an auto defeat. We're going to roll to see if we recharge the Sirocco spell. And we do. Okay, well, I guess that's the benefit of having high levels. So the Plague Zombie is banished for the rest of the campaign. Resetting our hand. Advancing the Blessings deck. We get a Toxic Geyser. Okay. The difficulty to defeat is increased by twice the scenario's adventure deck number. So this is scenario 6. So this is actually going to be a 12. A 17 to defeat. So let's see, what do we got here? It's a Trap, Acid, Fire, Poison Veteran. Let's see, what do we have here to help us out? And it turns out we really don't have a lot, unfortunately. Let's see, that there. Okay, so we're in a little bit of a pickle here. So what we have to do is, so it's just straight up going to be a Wisdom survival check. So we have D8 plus 5. So that's not too bad. And then we have, okay, we're just going to roll D8 plus 5. Alright, sweet. So we rolled 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We needed a 17, but we can go ahead and recharge Naga 3 fingers. So we can add that. So that's going to be 16. And then we can discard a Blessing of Mat to make that a over 17. Okay, so this barrier has been defeated. Okay, thank goodness for survival. Okay, resetting our hand, advancing to the Blessings deck, and we get a Royal Naga. So 2 combat 16 checks. We aren't going to succeed at a stealth 8 check to evade this creature. For each combat check, randomly choose a card that you can play that is a weapon or has the attack trait and play it. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 cards in our hand that have the attack trait, so we are going to randomly roll which one. So 2, we are using our Wand of Scorching Ray. So what we're going to do is we are going to, for your combat check, bury this card to roll 4d6. That's really not that great, but the Wand of Scorching Ray has the attack trait and the fire trait, so we can roll a d8. And we have the option, we're going to go ahead and use a Blessing of Thoth just to roll an extra d6, because we're just a little slightly worried. Alright, so we needed a 16. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we made the first check. So then we have to bury this card, so we don't get to use that card again. So now we're just rolling a D3 to see what's the next card with the attack trait we can do. So rolling that. Okay, and the random card is the Life Lantern. So we have to use this. It's interesting because the Wand of Scorching Ray, that was an item, and this is an item, but it's 2 separate checks. So I'm assuming I would be able to use an item on this check. So combat check, reveal this card, and recharge a card that has the Divine trait. Okay, so we're going to recharge our Eruption spell. So now what we have to do is we have to roll, we get to use our Divine trait plus 3d6. Okay, our Divine trait is plus 7, so I'm feeling a lot better about this roll. So we rolled 10, 18, 19, 20, 27. Okay, so this card has been defeated. Let's see, so for this one we revealed this card and we recharged the card. Okay, so we get to just go ahead and keep that card in our hand. Wow, that's a pretty powerful card. That Bane is banished. We are going to reset our hand. Okay, Alahazra, she's quite the powerhouse. Moving right along, advancing the Blessings deck. We get a Liquid Fire Gel. It's just a basic item. So whether or not we acquire this card, probably will be banished for the rest of the campaign. D8, we rolled a 3. We did not get it. It gets banished for the rest of the campaign. The hand is fine. Advancing the Blessings deck, and we get the Hippopotamus Mud Elemental Ally. So it's a Wisdom Survival 14. This card is Outsider Elemental Acid. Outsider Elemental Acid. We have a Blessing of Isis in our hand. It says here, discard this card to add 1 die. So discard this card to add 2 dice to any intelligence check or any check that invokes the acid or construction trait or construct. That's pretty cool. We're going to do it because there's acid and we want to get this card because it's level 6, and it would be really cool to end this campaign with a giant hippopotamus mud elemental ally. 3d8, adding 5 to this roll, so we get 3, and 7 is 10, and another 5. So 15 and 5, 20. We get the hippopotamus. That is pretty sweet. Never really scored one of these guys before. So what we can do is put this card on top of your deck. Discard this card to explore your location. During this exploration, add 2d6 to checks that invoke the acid or bludgeoning trait. That's interesting. I mean, we would kind of want to do some explorations. We're going to do it. We're going to explore. We're going to hope that the next thing that we get has the acid or bludgeoning trait. Let's try it out. We're exploring. Does it have? No. It's just a blessing of Lady of Graves. So this could be very, very useful. It's a divine 10. Our divine is D10 plus 7. All right. We don't know any other shenanigans we can use. Let's try to roll high. Come on, come on, come on. Let's do it. And we rolled a 4. So we do acquire this blessing. We're just going to put it straight into our hand. The hand is looking good. We're advancing the blessings deck. We're exploring. And we get the Undead Menace, that is Ain Mech. Combat 30 check. Immune to mental and poison traits before you act. Too bad. Well, we don't have our special armor that would usually protect us. We have to succeed at a Wisdom or Knowledge 9 check, or you are dealt 1d4 mental damage that may not be reduced. Then he's evaded. Ouch. That really sucks. And wow, and our Wisdom is just D8 plus 3. Well, kind of glad we buffed Wisdom up all this time. And we don't have any other shenanigans. We have the Ring of the Grasping Grave. Reveal this card to add 1d4 plus the scenario's adventure deck number to your check that invokes the undead trait. Huh. So it says reveal this card to add 1d4 plus the scenario's adventure deck number to your check that invokes the undead. So I'm assuming this is a check that has the undead trait. So we will use the Ring of the Grasping Grave. We are going to roll for our Wisdom check. Well, first of all, we'll roll 1d4 for Ring of the Grasping Grave. So we roll a 2. So we're adding a total of 8 plus 8 to this check. So that means that it's going to be an auto succeed, but we'll roll the d8 anyway. And we did roll an 8 anyway. So even if we didn't use the Ring of the Grasping Grave, if for some reason we weren't able to use it on this before you act check, we would have actually made the Wisdom check. But I'm pretty sure I could use the Ring of the Grasping Grave in this effect. And if so, that would make the Ring of the Grasping Grave pretty much one of the most sought after items in the whole campaign. And we have it. Okay, so now we can go ahead and try to do a combat check on this guy. And once again, we're going to use the Ring of the Grasping Grave. We're going to reveal this card, add 1d4 plus the scenario's adventure deck number to your check that invokes the undead trait. Okay, and you know what's crazy? Is that the top card of the Blessings discard pile has the Pharasma trait. Oh, that is wild. We can add 1d4 plus twice the scenario's adventure deck number. That is sweet. So we're going to roll a 3 plus 12 is 15. We're adding 15 to this roll. That is insane. So we're adding a plus 15 to this roll. Boom, there it is. And now we are going to go ahead. So he's immune to electricity trait, mental and poison. Wow, so all of our spells actually have the electricity trait. We have the Life Lantern in our hand. We can reveal this card and recharge a card that has Divine trait to use your Divine skill. If the Bane has the Poison or Undead trait, add another D6. So sure, we'll just use the Life Lantern. We're using our Divine skill of D10. We're rolling 3d6. It has the Undead trait. We're adding another d6 to this roll. So we're rolling this and we are adding 7 to our roll. Alright, so we rolled a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 7 is 17. So if it was just up to the Life Lantern, we would have totally failed. But thanks to the additional 15 brought on by the Ring of the Grasping Grave and the Blessing of Pharasma in the discard pile, we actually rolled a 32. So that is amazing. Boom, I'm really loving it. Okay, so it says here, if defeated, you may immediately attempt to close a location. When closing, you may close this location automatically. And there you have it, the Hall of Winged Chaos. That was quite the chaotic ride. And we got Mud Hippo Ally. Let's go ahead and do a deck check here. Technical difficulties here. That was really a very entertaining scenario. I don't know if I would classify that as a difficult scenario. I mean, a lot of things were really working out. I mean, that Ring of the Grasping Grave, I mean, come on. And we had the Blessing of the Lady of the Graves. I don't even know if we had that in our hand or not. Things were just getting too wild and crazy there. getting carried away with the excitement. That's what was happening. But we did it. Here is, we're just going through a deck check here, so you can all see what is in Alahazra's deck. We got the 2 weapons, the 2 staffs, we got this armor, fiery glare, we got all that. We got the wand of scorching ray. We get our new deer hippopotamus ally friend. I don't know if we're going to keep him though for the last adventure. So just that's the quick breakdown of the deck. I know I haven't done a complete deck breakdown lately, but that's where all the cards were. So I guess the going into the final scenario, the question is whether or not we're going to keep this hippopotamus mud elemental. I mean, the thing is we might as well. We got the Dune of Doom. We got this Sirocco spell. We got an Eruption spell. We got the Jolting Portent. These are all. So we got. This is attack bludgeoning, attack fire, attack electricity fire. This is attack electricity. Maybe we should try to go ahead. You know what? Let's go ahead and one last time. The final visit to Hayden Hopper. We're gonna say, look, we're off to the last scenario. We know where this. Sky Pharaoh is. So Hayden, give us a great spell. Rolling a D6 to break this card in this deck in half of spells. Counting down 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Hayden Hopper says, look, on your final mission, here's what I got for you. I got a Bone Shatter spell, and I got a Monstrous Physique. He says, I hear you're going to the Sky Pharaoh. Here's what I got for you. Let's go ahead and do a zoom in. We're going to see this trader. We got some stuff. We got a giant hippo to trade Hayden Hopper. So we're going to keep the Bone Shatter. It's Magic Arcane Divine Attack. So no elemental stuff going on there. For your combat check against a monster that does not have the Incorporeal or Ooze trait, discard this card to use your Arcane or Divine Skill plus 2d12. If the check is against a non-villain monster, ignore its powers that happen after you act. Okay, that's interesting. This one is display this card next to a character's deck. While displayed, add 2 dice and the acid and bludgeoning trait to that character's strength or dexterity checks and reduce that. You know what? I don't know. Monstrous Physique doesn't really seem as cool as Bone Shatter. I mean, Bone Shatter, I don't know. It's just 2d12. But I think we're going to take it, you know. I will let you know at the start of the next adventure what we're selling or trading. I think we're going to say goodbye to our hippopotamus friend. I mean, he was really cool, you know, but I think Hayden Hopper, once he saw laid eyes on the hippopotamus, he says, look, here's the Bone Shatter. Just give me the hippo, another level 6 spell or something like that. Or maybe he wants the Staff of the Hidden Cobra. You know, we're going to give him a trade. We're gonna help him out. All right, well, that's the state of Alahazra's deck. I'll let you know what the final decision is, or the final trade was for the Bone Shatter at the start of the next scenario, and we will have the final scenario of the campaign next. All right, thanks for watching.